Hello everyone, this is Lisa, the Whimsical Gardener. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about plants that you can put in a shade garden. Now a shade garden is anywhere that is considered to have less than 6 hours of direct sunlight. There's partial shade where it's any area that has about 3 to 6 hours of light, and light shade is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. So today I want to go over some options of what you could put in, show you some combination. I would love if you can like and subscribe to this video and subscribe to my channel. So let's go ahead and see what options are out there. So first I want to start out by panning around and showing you what my shade garden looks like as of today. Interestingly, when we moved into this house, this tree that you see here was very small, and so this area was mostly in the sun. However, over the years it grew, and a positive benefit from that is I now have an area that's shaded, and so I can have a shade garden on the property. So I'll start here first, and then we'll pan a little bit over, and then we'll go into the individual plants. Alright, let's start with a collection of hosta that I have, and you'll notice throughout the video I have hosta of various color, leaves, size, height, and I try to intertwine them so that it looks a little bit cohesive. Several things I would have to move around eventually because I'm learning the growth habits of these. The nice thing about gardening is if you plant it in the wrong place, you can always move it. So here I have a collection of shorter hosta. Mouse ears is one of them. The other I cannot remember, but I'll try to pop the name on the screen if I can find it. Now, interestingly, this hosta, someone that I work with, gave me a small clump like the one that you see here, and in a matter of 1 year, it grew, so I was able to split it, and that's one of the things I'm going to show you how to do. Now, this is one of my favorite hosta. I want to show you for comparison the size of the leaves. This is my hand, very large. I love the shade, and it has a blue tone to it as well, which I think complements everything, and it actually stands out as well, so it's not all just green, it's different shades of green. Now back here is the newest hosta from my collection. This I got from a Cobb County Master Gardener sale earlier in the year. Thought those were interesting texture. Again, I'll try to find the name and place them on the screen. So the next grouping of hosta that I have, which I'm fairly sure I'm gonna have to move 1 or 2 of them next year because I planted them a little bit too close, but look how beautiful the leaves are. And not everyone is a fan of hosta blooms, but this one's fairly interested, all white. Now this one here is newer to my collection, and it's the Shadowland Diamond Lake by Proven Winners. Now this particular area, what I did was did a combination of height, leaf texture, leaf shape, and group them. So eventually you would not see any dirt. It should fill in this in the next few years. So I ran out of space in my bed and decided to plant some hosta in pots. So this is my collection. Most of these pots I got thrifting. So I think it worked out really well. This one's my favorite. I love the color combination on this. And this one here is fairly new. Again, I'll try to see if I can find the names of it and pop it on the screen. If you know the names of any of these hosta, feel free to put it in the comments. Now, out of all the hostas in the collection, this is my favorite. So I got this hosta from my parents' neighbor who moved out, and the new neighbors did not want any of the plants that were there. So I actually got a chance to go dig this hosta. So this is the Wulala hosta, I believe. If I say the name wrong, I'll pop it back on the screen, by Proven Winner. And so I was able to get this hosta and several David Austin rose, which I thought was a good find. Next year I may have to divide it, but again, I want to show you the size of the leaves. So this is my hands compared to the size of the leaves. So now that we've seen a little bit of the hosta, let's go into some trees and shrubs that I have that are shade tolerant. So the first one I want to talk a little bit about is Japanese maple. And this one here I'm super proud of because last year Pikes had a sale and all of their Japanese maple were $19.99, so I snugged this one. This one is called Crimson Queen Lace Leaf Japanese Maple. So this is year 2 in my garden, and I may have to move it forward in that container. I have it in a chest right here, so I may have to move it forward so the branches will have some chance to grow. What I love about this is look at the texture of the leaves. Beautiful. Next, I want to move into this plant, this tree. This is a fatsia. So it blooms towards the fall, I believe, and it gives these clumps of white blooms. But I love the leaves on it. I love the shape of the leaves. I do use it in flower arrangements. It really stands up really well in a flower arrangement. New to my collection this year is a Edgeworthia. The blooms on these, so this blooms early spring and the scent is heavenly. You could be way across the other side of the yard and just a whiff of the wind and you will smell it. But I love this because again, I love the shape of the leaves. So beautiful. This one I decided to plant in a pot, and we'll see how it does. So I got this earlier this year, but love how this is. Now you'll notice in the pots I have several Japanese sky pencil holly, I believe is what they're called. they've done so-so for me. A few of them have not survived, and I had to remove them. But this is year 3 for them in the garden. Some of them are doing better, some are not. And then the next one that I have is one of my favorites. This is Sun King Aurelia. I love the chartreuse color on this. Beautiful. And the edges of the leaves are just amazing. And then finally on this side, I have a, cannot remember the name off of the top of my head right now. I will pop it in the screen. I'm sure as soon as I turn this video off, I'll remember the name of it. But this one here blooms in fall. But again, this is probably about 4 years old. Slow grower on it, and I will pop the name up on the screen. Now I have a collection of grasses in the shade area, and please don't judge me because I'm sure I'm gonna say this name wrong, but this is a Japanese Hanakloa, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Grass, and this is perennial. It comes back every year. Now what I did was, when I initially got it, I split it in half, so I have one there and I have a smaller clump over here. I love these grass because they just look beautiful with the wind. I just love them. So I am on the hunt to add some more of these, so if there's any sales, of course I'm going to get some more of these. And here is another one that I got last year from our local Cobb County Master Gardener plant sale. I don't remember the name. Oh, I do have a tag. Let's see. Nope, that's a fern. Oh, I do have a name. Northern Sea River Oats. So beautiful. So when we first moved into this yard, I found this grass on sale on clearance and didn't know if it would be shade tolerant or not, but I had some space here, so I decided to plant it, and it gives these beautiful white plumes in fall. So I've had this probably about 5 years now. I think I'm gonna need to split it in about a year or so. And then the other grass that I have here, again, pardon me, I don't remember the names off of the top of my head. I will pop them on the screen. This one does come back every year as well, and it gives some beautiful short plumes. In about 2 months or so, I will get that. Now I've mirrored that with another one over here, which sadly is not doing so well. So I'm gonna have to see if I can purchase another one. Now in my pots, I have a combination of heuchera, tiarella. Love the leaf texture on this one. Here I have I believe it's a Christmas fern and a Jacob's ladder. Oh, there's a bee there. How beautiful. So this is a Jacob's ladder. I planted that this year. And you'll notice that all of the containers, what I did was planted some coleus. So these are shade tolerant coleus. So I planted these from seeds. And this is my 3rd year, I believe, planting coleus in these containers. Now a pro tip for you is what I normally do if you want your coleus to grow bushy is what you do is the tips of it here. Let me make sure the phone's focusing. You would take the top here and you will pinch it out. And what happens is it forces the plant to basically bush out, so we'll do 2 shoots here. So that's what I've done to majority of the plants so far. Love the colors on these. Try to coordinate the colors in each of the containers. This one I especially love. Look at the texture and the color. I'm going to go ahead and pinch this as I'm here. And pinch this one too as well. And this one. What I've also done is I had these tiny containers that I put some, I think this is I don't remember the name of it, but I got that from Baker Creek. And these I just got from seed packets from Pikes. And these are the botanical interest coleus. So the container on the wall I've planted with some caladiums, which are looking amazing. And this again, cannot remember the name. I'll try to find the name and pop it on the screen. This is an interesting find for me next year. If anybody knows the name of this, let me know. I thought I would just try this and see if it'll grow in the shade, and so far it's doing really well. I may try to see if I can propagate it, but what a beautiful container up on the wall. And this container, I actually got it thrifting, and then I just sprayed it over, and my husband attached it to the fence for me, but I just love it. It looks beautiful. So no shade garden will be completed without any fern. So I want to show you some that I have. First of all, I want to show you a fail. Yep, I do kill plants. So that's a fern that did not come back, so I'm not sure why, but didn't come back. I'm kind of sad about that. Oh well, now I have the opportunity to get some more ferns for the yard. If you're a plant addict, you know what I mean. So first is this one here, which I think might be a Christmas fern. Again, if you know the name, just put it in the comments. This is a new one for my collection that I got this year, and I do have a tag on this. So this is a royal fern. In the future, I'm going to be going to a nursery that I go often that I got this, and I'm going to show you their selection of shade plants. I got 2 so I can mirror it on both sides of this rock art. So I want to pop back in here and go over some examples of how you can multiply the plants that you have in your yard through propagation, splitting, and so forth. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples that I have, and then try them out and see if it works for you. So the first plant that we are going to try to propagate is this heuchera. So let me go down a little bit closer so you can see it. So if you look in your plants all the way down here where there is, if you just hold it and you go all the way up to the stem, it breaks away. Just press it and it will break away. And then what you're left with is something that looks like this. And so this is what you're going to use to propagate. So let's go get a few more items, and then I'm going to show you how we prep them. Alright, so here I have a Helen Bonstein's lamb's ear, and it's fairly large. I also have another one right over here. So what I'm going to do is, since these multiply, I'm going to break away a couple of stems and I'm going to pot those up. So let's go a little bit closer so I can show you. So if you're looking at the base of the plant, see how it's separated here? Like you can clearly see it's separating there. You can hold it by the root and just pull it. And here, it pulls out with the root. So now I've got a plant that I can pot up, and I'll show you again how to pot that up. Let's go ahead and do another one so you can see it. So here, see how this is all separate? This is separate from that. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it as close as I can to the root and just pull it out. And here you go. I've got a new plant. I'm going to go ahead and pot that up. And now you can direct plant this into your into the soil, or in my case I'm going to put it in a pot and let it get a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to plant it in the ground because I'm not sure where I'm going to put it right now. So since I have a lot of oregano, I could dig these up in a clump. So let me show you how I would do that. So normally, ideally, I would do this in the spring when it's not so big. But for demonstration purposes, I'll show you now. So see how you have a clump of oregano here. You could just basically dig this whole area up and then plant it in a pot or transplant it directly in the ground. So let's see if we can demonstrate this for you. So as you can see here, here is my cup right here. So what I'm going to do, again, this is a hori knife. For those that may not know this tool, I use this almost every time I'm in the garden. So let's go ahead and dig this clump up. So I'm just going to insert it here, and I'm just going to gently cut the roots. Well, this is not gentle, but I will cut the roots out. And then here you go. Voila, I have my division here. So I can either plant this directly in the in another area in my yard, or in this case I'm going to pot it up so I can give it away. Alright everyone, so now I want to show you how can you propagate plants from your garden. So if you're looking to fill a space and you have some of these in your yard, I'll show you how I was able to basically propagate them and multiply them in my garden. So the first thing you're going to need is, I have a pot here with some potting soil. And then I'm going to start first with my Helen von Stein lamb's ear. So the first thing I do is I'm going to break off all of the larger leaves. And the reason why you're doing that is the plant is trying to grow roots, so you don't want it to be supporting too much growth on top. So I am breaking off all the taller leaves. So what you're looking at is something that looks like this. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my potting soil and I'm going to create a hole here in the middle, so like that. And then I'm going to place my lamb's ear in it and cover it back up like so. And now I'm going to water this, and this is going to go in a shady area. In about 2 weeks or so I can plant this out. Now the next option is I could have directly planted this into the soil, into the ground, but in this particular case I'm not sure where I'm going to place this one, so I'm just putting it in a pot right now. Moving on to my heucherella. So again, what I'm going to do is break out all of the larger leaves, and so breaking out this one here. So what I'm looking for is something that looks like this. I could technically break this out, but just for insurance purposes I'm going to leave this one and this one as well too. So what I have left is something that looks like this. So again, I have my potting soil, and I'm going to create a hole right here, and I'm going to place this in and then cover it up back. So this is what it looks like. Alright, and the last item that we have is our oregano. So what I typically do is, if this one is too, if the greenery is too tall, I can snip it. So in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and snip a couple of the stems so they're shorter. I can get this to snip. Hold on. It's the first I want to work today. Alright, so technically I could plant this entire thing in the ground right now, but again, I don't know where I'm going to place all of these, so I'm going to go ahead and pot them up. So again, I have my pot, and I went ahead and place it in. And so now what I'm going to do is water all 3 of these, and then I'm going to place them in a very shady area. You don't want to put them in any direct sunlight or any area that has lots of sunlight starting out, because the plant is trying to grow new roots and reestablish itself. So you want to give it some favorable condition, which is mostly shade at this point. Thank you all for joining my video on what plants you can plant in the shade garden. I hope this gives you some idea. I would love if you can subscribe to my channel, like the video. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment. Until next time, enjoy your day.